welcome to Late Night Chat, episode 32. Hey, Neeks, remember? This is 32, not 31, because you forgot to say it last week.
Welcome back, everybody.
Yeah, Nigo. Welcome back to episode 32.
Nice intro there, Jay, since we did forget to actually do the intro last week.
I thought we did do it, so don't blame me. I'm the high guy, so I thought we did.
I just noticed today we were so obsessed with the actual video itself.
Yeah.
And by the way, I hope you guys are enjoying the YouTube video
Hopefully,
at home
yeah,
and you're actually checking it out. You know,
shout outs to those who are.
Yeah, go to the YouTube channel, hit subscribe, everybody. Even if you don't
Thumbs
plan on watching us, subscribe to the channel so you can be notified whenever new content goes up. Hit that like button too. Yeah, hit that thumbs up on that YouTube video underneath.
Not one, two of them.
Yeah. Don't hit the thumbs down. Don't you dare.
That'd be crazy, man.
Yeah. Well, you know, it still gets some traction on the page, though.
Yeah, at least we know you're watching, whether you like it up, thumbs
you know,
up,
and
or
get
down.
get a little bit more active in the comments too, guys. If you do visit the video, like, and watch it, you know, throw a comment in there, respond to something directly in the comments section.
Yeah,
Everyone knows that.
Takes me a hard, long ass fucking time to write those show notes and ask those questions in the show notes. So just answer one, god damn it.
Well, I know people. I think if they go to SoundCloud, they would always like listen to us on SoundCloud, but they didn't actually know you could comment on SoundCloud. Like, I feel, because not many people did, even though they had shit to say.
But it's kind
but
of
on YouTube, everybody knows how to comment on YouTube.
Oh yeah,
though,
no,
you know
it doesn't
I mean?
have. Yeah, it doesn't have that on SoundCloud.
Yeah. You actually got to go on the page.
Yeah,
so if you're just listening
it.
to it, if you're just hitting the browser and listening to the episode, you don't have a chance to comment. You actually got to go on the page.
Yeah, and they can always do it on the actual site too, right? Like on our actual Instagram page or whatever too. They can always leave a comment there. You know, it doesn't always necessarily have to be on the SoundCloud if they can't figure that out.
Yeah, just interact with us more, guys. Like, that's what we're not just putting this out in the world if you are listening for no interaction. Like, we appreciate the feedback, but, get in on the conversation with us. Like, give us your opinions. Yeah, exactly. Fuck. Speaking of fucked, Jay's on a roll. You're on a roll with your content lately, I gotta say. These fucking...
I don't know what's going on with me, man.
Spur of the moment type shit you're doing. This guy, before he came to the show today, he puts out a video on Instagram that we reposted on the Late Night Chat Instagram, by the way, in our story. Yeah. Fucking Jay's grabbing his belt. Like, why are you even taking off your fucking belt in public?
I was on my way home from work, man. It was in my hand, dude.
Looks like you're about to spank a kid or something.
No, I had track pants on, and then I took my belt home from work on my jeans, so I said, fuck, man. And then just all of a sudden, I asked everybody at work, all the girls, if anybody wanted the strap, but nobody wanted it. But, so yeah.
He's talking about a gun, not a fucking
I know. I'm not. Dude, it's been since November, my friend. I'm talking about an actual belt. No,
I enjoy that you're bringing back Get the Strap, though, the old 50 line that he was busting out prior to Money by Monday.
Yeah, I know. I knew it wasn't
Monday. I like
Monday,
that you're keeping that alive. Yeah,
I knew it wasn't going to be Monday, so I didn't bother with the whole, because it was Monday. No, I didn't give a fuck what day of the week it is. He only cares about Monday. I don't care as long as you give me my money. That's all that matters, right? So. But,
all of a sudden this guy's dangling the fucking belt in the video. He's like, hey, he was ready to get the strap. And then you tagged me and your brother, and he's like, what the fuck?
Yeah, strap you guys. Watch out, no?
You sure you weren't, like, looking to wave, like, a strap on there or something? Is that
I said tonight. I think I posted and said tonight, too, in that. So that didn't look right, because it looks like I'm coming to give Nico the strap tonight. So
that's why
at least there's video evidence that there's no strap going on over here.
I didn't know what I was in for when you showed up today. I was like, holy fuck, this guy must be pissed. I don't know what kind of mood he's going to be coming in.
Oh,
see, look,
man.
Bro, you look looking alive now. You're on the cameras. Because when you came here, we were kind of both, me and Jay were like,
Moosh.
You guys are going to see it some of these days, by the way, when we get on this camera. We're not maybe going to be in the mood, but we're going to do it anyway.
Man. It's weird, yeah. It's just, for some reason, with the camera on, it throws everything off, right? I mean, and not everything off, but it gets us going, man. It gets us, when I first get here, I don't say fuck. I try not to say anything to this guy at all. But, it's hard not to.
Yeah, we find it kills the natural, like, conversation, like, of the actual cast.
Even, like, during the week.
Yeah, if you say everything you want to discuss on the cast before actually recording, then it kind of takes away of like some of the spontaneity. Yeah, that's a word.
Yeah, you could have got away with it with me. Dude.
I know. You'd be like, yeah.
I would have been like, yeah, it's all good, dude. I agree with you until somebody commented on it.
But yeah, once again with the YouTube guys, I hope you enjoyed the better sound quality and picture quality and setup for the last video compared to the Lewis one. Poor guy. Whenever Lewis comes on, he's like the guinea pig. Yeah, like the first time he came on, he was I think one of our first was he our first in-house guest?
Yeah.
Or was Peter? Peter actually, I think was. I think Peter was before him actually. Yeah, because he actually showed up for the in person for that one. But the mic setup we had changed it. Yeah. We had changed it when Lewis came on. So I recall like when he came on and the audio quality came out, it was like one of our shittiest fucking audio quality like podcasts.
Yeah. No, it was different.
Because we were trying to learn how to. Yeah. So that happened, and then this time he comes on. He's the first person on the YouTube video.
Well, you know what?
So like, I didn't know how to do anything. Like, I put it out in 2 fucking videos, as I mentioned last time. Like, I didn't even know how to edit them together. I like deleted the fucking file.
Yeah,
right?
Your file doesn't play on my phone, and it really, But we can lead it into a few conversations here, especially with Lewis. I got him to be a guinea pig about something else. It's involving tongs.
Hey, don't worry. I'm going to take you to task on that one too. So this guy Lewis messages me, Instagram, and he's like, "What?" He's like, "What the fuck is going on here with Jay?" All of a sudden, Jay is trying to solicit. If you guys remember last episode, how we talked about, I made a joke about shaving Jay's balls for charity.
I'm trying to get charity. I'm trying to get some more money for the fundraiser,
So now Jay, because your birthday's coming up. That's true. Happy birthday. This is your birthday episode.
It will be, yeah. It actually will be. It'll be coming out just afterwards.
Yeah, when this drops. Yeah, so happy belated. But... yeah, I fucking Lewis texts me and he's just like, "What was this guy asking me this for?" He's like, "Hey, bro, you want to shave my balls? Nico will hold me down, and you can hold my balls firmly while I shave them or some shit." Read the message. This guy's fucked, man. And
you know what? I have a feeling I got.
So Lewis is like,
I'm in the wrong Instagram page.
Lewis is like, "What's going on with your boy there?" I'm like, I don't know, man.
It was hilarious.
Bro, Jay's going around soliciting. I hated that I had to hear that from Lewis first before you, though. I'm just like, really? Like, this guy's making us look bad out here.
For work, right? And he says handle bags. So I figured, okay, if he handle bags for work, I got a bag you can handle and help Nico shave it while he shaves it for charity, right? He goes, hell the fuck no. He goes, I'll hold him with barbecue tongs. But other than that, no thanks. Hey, at least he's offering.
I was about to say, he said he'd hold them with barbecue tongs. Like, I'm not.
Now, how is he going to hold them? Is he going to actually hold them physically with his hand and then hold the barbecue tongs in another hand?
No, I mean,
is he going to grab my nuts?
He'd probably be like this, like strong arm you.
Oh, you know what? I wonder how much money that would get. Anybody should make posts if they're going to make comments. Make comments on that one.
Bro, you get removed from fucking YouTube with that shit.
No, man. You know what? We have too much fucked up talk in this small room here. We have too much fucked up talk. And now we're getting closer and closer.
I don't know if this video was a good idea, bro.
We'll put Lewis right in the middle now. We'll put him as a sandwich.
Oh, there's not much room in this room. I don't know if you guys can tell from this fucking screen here, like how we have it formatted.
We're literally 1.5 feet apart from each other, maybe.
But really, like, how much room do you have in between us if you're gonna place your nuts there, like theoretically?
Nothing, bro. It takes up half of that spot there. It's it. Yeah, that's how I've been told, man.
I don't know why you're going around soliciting this though. Like
Hey. It's for a good cause, dude. It's for a good cause, that's all. I just offered. I just threw it out there.
Anyways, moving on.
Yeah, moving on, yeah. Keep it going. No, but we can also... it also brings up a whole little thing about your stupid phone versus my phone, buddy.
Sure.
I'm sorry, because I can't stand it. Anybody hate that you can't play anything from iPhones on regular Android phones or without having to change a file or change a format, because it's a real bitch.
Yeah, I've not seen people separated so much so. when it comes to the discussion of iPhones versus Android. Some people
man,
swear by. Here's the thing. I'll straight up tell you though. You and me, neither of us have reached the capabilities of either of these devices. Like what we use them for, like, so we shouldn't even really be talking because we're not.
I mean, I'm pretty good up to a certain point with my phone, right? But I mean, I'm also 3, maybe 2 phones behind right now. So I mean, if I get a newer one, I don't know what the difference would be, what would happen, right? So, but honestly, I'm just not a big fan of iPhone base. I'd rather have just Google base or Android base or whatever it is, right? Because I feel like it's just for adults that are dumb. Sorry.
iPhones. Yeah, they try to make it easy. That is true. Yeah. That's one of their main selling points is how easy it is to operate. But here's the thing. They also, and I'll admit this, the problem with Apple is they're good until they're not. When they get outdated, they're fucking pieces of shit, as we're dealing with some of our fucking devices running this show right now, admittingly. Okay, there's that. Well, and then also it's the restrictions. Yeah. If you're someone who likes to download lots of fucking different types of files, you're someone that likes to have different programs suited to your needs, you're gonna need to pay them. Exactly. No, it's true.
No, I know.
And not have to buy a fucking specific program from Apple itself in order to run that thing. Then Android's the way to go. Absolutely. Plus, Android you can make it more like I know everyone says iPhones you can jailbreak them and you can do these kind of things. Yes, but Androids are ready to go with more customability.
And that's another thing too, is that storage wise I use it for, because you can put an SD card in it, and you can't do that with your phone. I know it syncs with your computer if you have one, and I guess you have to have an Apple. You would have to have a computer, an Apple if you had an iPhone, right? Like you would have to have an actually.
Well, that's the thing. It's like a fucking cult, because once they get you in on one product, all your products work off of one another. So if you have the most up to date shit, you're only hurting yourself by mixing and matching the types of products that you use.
So
because
your phone versus your computer, basically, like, or your tablet.
Well, right now my phone is way better. Like all this video shit, I do it all from my phone. I don't do it from my computer because my computer's outdated.
That's what I was meaning, like,
Right. So yeah, I mean, do you have any other points to make, or you just wanted to throw it out there and just talk shit about my Apple products? Because it doesn't sound like you have any strong points here.
I mean, I guess if you're used to it, it's, if you like it. But I always thought it was just for kids in the beginning with the iPods and stuff like that.
And for older people.
Well, the only time I think I had one was when before even like those Nano, just when they just stored music, right? And that was it. After that, I've never owned an Apple product since, right? It's just, I don't know. I didn't like it. Maybe I was so used to a Windows format or an Android based format, like a Google based phone, that it just worked out better for me. So we'll have to see.
I've had like 6 different generations of iPhones.
That's what I mean. You and me, I haven't gotten anything else. Last thing before my Android was a BlackBerry, I think. And I don't think they're around anymore.
I think more people lately, at least from what it seems, swear more so by Android, though, because Android also has the ability. You have a variety of different phones you can get with Androids. It's not just like you just don't have to get the one fucking phone. Android is a system that's on many different styles of phones.
Yeah.
So you're not like. That's what I mean. Like,
you're just waiting for a different generation.
I'm rallying for you at this point of this argument because listen. I don't mind the Androids though. Yeah. It's just like at this point, I'm just so used to using Mac stuff that I don't really veer away from picking up the new iPhone when it comes out, because I'm just like, I'm familiar with it.
Yeah.
I know everything, like how to do things on it. So like, you know what I mean, like. So it's just more so I'm comfortable with using it. And that's the thing. Like. Android, you can do so much more with an Android, but you also got to be good with computers to be able to really push it to its full potential.
Yeah. And I never worry about.
But that's why I said when we started this conversation, I don't think either of us are the ones to be really saying like which one's better in this conversation, because we haven't used either of these to their full capabilities.
Well, I mean, and most of these phones here, like I'm still having brain farts. I remember I lost all my music the other day.
Right.
And then all of a sudden it found it again. All it does is you have to move it from one thing to another, and it doesn't recognize where it is. That's another thing that pisses me off. There's just little things on this one that does. But in most phones nowadays, just the phones itself, the security on the phones too as well.
Right.
Android-based or, iPhone-based. I'm telling you right now, they're really good. You don't even have to have an extra security system download, right? Because, like AVG or whatever those programs are.
VLC.
Yeah, all those things, right?
Yeah.
You don't need to have any of that. Like, it's just, I don't know. I'm just so used to it, guys. I don't know who's with me or against me, but I know there's quite a few people that are probably would be against me on it. But there is the same. I think it'd be the same amount. It'd probably be a 50-50 split if you really think about it.
Well, here's the thing. I think people that are using Mac stuff are content with what they offer them and how easy it is to operate, and they're not looking really to do too many things outside of the box with their stuff. And mind you, you can.
Yeah.
Like when it comes to video editing, music stuff, everyone has Macs.
Yeah,
like
that's a big
they're
thing.
actual like they're
That's what they're based.
Yes, that is exactly it.
Yeah,
Like they're
that's a
nicer
platform.
laptops.
Yeah.
And like the thin fucking laptop. I mean, unreal. Have you seen how thin the laptops are now? Those Air ones.
Yeah,
Bro, it's
everything's paper thin, dude.
No, I know. I'm not saying that
Yeah.
you can't get PCs like that. Of course
Yeah.
you can. But I'm just saying the Mac products though. The
They
design
seem like the
behind them
first
are
ones.
nice, yes,
Yeah.
but that's the thing. A lot of people have felt that ever since Steve Jobs died, the company has went downhill in terms of their creativeness because
there
Steve
wasn't much
Jobs was the
anyways.
vision behind Apple at that point. Like he was the visionary. Whenever
Yeah.
Steve Jobs came out, have you ever seen any of those movies or
Yeah,
documentaries about him or anything like
I seen
that?
the documentary. I think it was that was
Right.
where he was on the stage.
I think it was just called Jobs or something,
yeah, and
right?
he talked, and he did a lot of talking.
But
in
do
it.
you remember those talks he used to do? Like everyone would be talking about the new product when he unveiled
Yeah.
it, when he came out with his fucking turtleneck or whatever the fuck it was that he came out in.
Yeah,
Like,
and
you know what I
his
mean?
glasses, yeah, and his
Yeah,
bald
yeah.
head, yeah.
But the presentation and the way he kind of unveiled each kind of new innovation was like crazy. Like that's what I mean. That guy was all like aesthetic. Like
Yeah.
you know what I mean. Like he was all about. Like,
But
like,
even though he didn't really change it much either. Like it's been basically the same thing, right? It's basically looked the same from beginning
I mean,
to end.
at one point they pretty
phone-wise.
much cornered the market, but then what had happened was each iPhone that they brought out, they weren't really adding too much to it. You're right. Every time a new iPhone comes out, the camera's a little bit better. There's
software.
there's maybe like a small new feature to it.
Yeah.
You know how much more they can do, but they're holding back? Because that would be stupid. Why are you going to give the consumer
Well-
the best product you can put out?
Yeah.
And then end it there when the technology, you know what I mean? Like it will allow them to bring out a different phone every year.
Make more money.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
That's
it's-
what I mean. Like, why limit
They're
yourself?
milking the market.
Exactly, milking it
And
essentially.
I guess, yeah, and they're getting every little penny they can out of it. It's like they used to do with videos and stuff like that. Now that everything's on Netflix and all that kind of crap
Right.
and streaming, but they used to do all with DVDs, and first it was CDs and DVDs and
Yeah.
Blu-rays. Like they could have came out with all that shit, in one like they had it before it was ready. They just milked the markets like flat screen TVs. They did the same thing. They're slowly doing it. They're only adding one little thing different a year. Maybe another inch on the side that you can get, maybe a little bit thinner, and that's about it, right? They're not
Right.
really doing much difference when it comes to a TV anymore either. It's all the same, right? I haven't seen a drastic change in a little while, right? Especially when it comes to phones.
Yeah,
Right.
so I mean, like, so it makes sense. Like, I get why they do it, but yeah, I mean, like I said, I'm comfortable with what Mac has offered me, but
Yeah.
now that I'm gonna have to upgrade my stuff sooner than later, I'm gonna need to buy a new computer at this point in time. Will I continue to use Mac? I don't know, because if I'm playing with the idea of getting a PC because it's been a while. Because and
You just have to do your research, I guess,
Yeah.
on what you want to use it for and stuff like that.
yeah. Well, that's the thing. As we continue to do these things,
Yeah. what's easier.
It's almost easier and smarter to get a Mac.
Yeah,
like, you know what I mean? Like, because of all the video editing software and the capabilities, the stuff you can buy for, like, if you're really into even what do you call it? That visual art type stuff, which I'm not. Like any of that kind
graphics
of
and stuff like that.
Yeah. That's the way to go. Music production, that's the way to go. Like recording studio shit, Mac. That's what I mean. Like that's anybody in the industry uses them for that kind of stuff. Like, but if you're just going to use it to surf the web, download things, play games, go PC.
Do work,
Yeah. You go PC for that. That's what I mean. So really, you gotta weigh your options out.
I feel the same that way too. The way you're saying it, like I said, I've never had a Mac. I've never used, I mean, you could use Google and all that shit on here, that kind of stuff. But you still, I don't know. I've never found it appealing to me. I mean, I've never used their computers. I've only had a chance to use their phones or their iPods in my hand, right? So I don't really know. The whole capability of what your phone can do, because your phone sounds like it's pretty crazy because it's doing everything, right? It's doing everything that probably more than you said your computer can do. So but that's I just, like I said, I'm still down with having my Android, and that's it. We'll stick with that.
All right. Well, yeah, and I guess for now I'm sticking with Mac, but I'll let everybody know when the time comes. If I
gotta go phone shopping too, so that's the thing. I was hoping maybe some opinions out there, but
if you do that setup, we can have multiple camera angles, guys, going on for these videos.
If there was two of the same fucking phones, we could have had them all going. Well, that's the way we should have it ultimately. So we're not. You're sitting side by side, eh? Trust me, I got track pants on. There's no strap involved over here today, guys.
No one's getting the strap here.
No.
All right, so I guess we ran a little bit along on that one. So let's move into the next topic here.
Isn't that what we do all the time, guys?
So I have a question for you, and it'll actually transition. It'll help transition into another topic we had similar to maybe some of the things I'm going to mention here following this. So basically, recently in the news, now this is comic news again. So I'm going to bring another piece of comic news to the show. Something I wanted to ask you, because again, it relates to kind of real world type shit. Like anybody can relate to maybe this. There was a writer called Brian Wood.
Okay.
He's a comic writer. He's been in the industry a long time. There's been recently a reemergence of accused sexual misconduct with him and other female professionals in the field, like a comic book writer an artist who accused him of
some sort of sexual.
Yeah, here I'll read the report to you.
Go ahead.
Following a series of sexual misconduct allegations against prominent men in the gaming industry this week, writer and editor Laura Hudson came forward on Twitter with similar accusations against writer Brian Wood, who is currently writing several series for Dark Horse Comics. Hudson alleges that when she once met Wood at a bar, he grabbed her and forced her into a kiss. She says that she went to the bathroom and looked him up on Wikipedia to see if he was married. He was. She alleges that after the bar, Wood texted her for weeks and repeatedly asked her to have sex, which she refused. And then it goes on to say, as noted by Hudson in her thread, she's not the first to accuse Wood of sexual misconduct. In 2013, where I do remember originally hearing some rumblings about this.
Yeah.
But sadly and truthfully, at that point in time, it was a different time.
Yeah.
I don't think when people came forward with this they didn't take it as serious, exactly.
Yeah.
In 2013, artist Tess Fowler alleged that Wood had sexually harassed her at a convention years before. At the time, Wood admitted to having made a pass at Fowler, but denied any accusations or harassment or abuse. He claimed that Fowler's memory of the incident was incorrect and insisted on a wider industry conversation about men in positions of power wielding that power to abuse young women. So now this is also a writer who's famously, at the start of his career, worked with a lot of indie female cartoonists because he's the writer, to draw his stories.
Okay.
So he helped a lot of younger female artists, upcomers, make a name for themselves based off of the work that he did early in his career. Now not that has to do anything with this, but he's always been someone who has been associated with other women in the industry working with them.
Yeah.
And writing characters, like strong female characters in a few of his earlier works.
Yeah.
And then this stuff came out about him, and it almost is like if some people dismissed it right away back in 2013, other people just, rolled with it and maybe kind of, didn't take it into account. Maybe didn't know because of the way he kind of cleaned it up, or maybe because the artist maybe didn't pursue kind of continue to push her agenda as a result of like her kind of like becoming public with this information.
Yeah.
So I don't know, but that all this to say is because of this news, and again, who knows? Okay, I don't want to say that this is true. Anyways, Dark Horse Comics, who's publishing some of his comics right now, a day or two after this was released, has said they're cutting ties with him. They have series that they're planning to print for him coming in September. They're canceling.
Hey, he's not part of like
Marvel or DC right now. No,
but he had didn't you say Dark Horse did some of the old Batman, right?
No, Dark Horse Comics is like stuff that's like they're not Marvel or DC, so they're another publisher. It did they do Hellboy, they do Aliens comics. He had an upcoming Aliens comic coming
with
out,
something like the Academy and stuff like
Umbrella
that.
Academy, yeah,
Doom
absolutely.
Patrol,
Dark Horse,
Doom Patrol's DC, right?
Yeah. There are more indie comic book like they have other properties, and they acquire other properties because they did Star Wars comics for a bit, some of which he wrote. Now Marvel has the license to do Star Wars comic because of Disney.
Yeah.
They have Hellboy. They had Conan for a bit, but now Marvel got that back as well. So, they're just a company that does more independent stuff and acquires, other properties.
Okay.
But they've just recently announced, in light of this news, we are no longer going to be working with Brian Wood. So that's, again...
So he's basically guilty before he's even brought to a fair discussion or a trial about it or whatever.
The only thing I would say against that is that this isn't the first rumblings or accusations that have occurred.
Okay.
So I get where you're coming from, because in a lot of the cases we've seen this, and we've talked about it on this show before on the YouTube, for the first time now on YouTube.
On YouTube, yeah.
Yeah.
No, yeah.
So, don't kill us guys out there, because we're trying to have an actual serious conversation about this.
Well,
we're not picking sides one way or another at this point. Yeah, but yes, we've talked about it on this show before. We've talked about how at this point, even the mere mention of something like this
can really screw somebody up.
Yes.
Yeah, for the rest of their career.
Yeah, even if it's true or not.
Yeah, even if it's not. Well, I'm going to say even if it's not, because before it's even considered true, they already seem to be guilty, most of these people, right?
Yeah.
And I feel that's not a good thing, man. You got to give everybody a fair chance. Isn't that what they're based on in the U.S. and all that shit is fair trial?
But
they say that,
right? But I also think it is good. Again, we've also said this on this show, that it is good that people are able to come forward with these kind of things now, not be afraid of coming forward with this kind of stuff now.
True.
With this Me Too. I think that is one positive thing that has become as a result of this whole Me Too movement. But I think as you just stated, the bad part about it is sometimes it doesn't really open up for any type of conversation. It's just let's shut this guy's career down right away, right? Anyways, so yeah, they just said that they're not going to work with them. But my question to you was, that's why I didn't want to get too much into the... Obviously, you can't mention this and not get into the Me Too stuff. But my question to you was, does that taint this person's work forever? Because right now, in this fucking room that we're sitting in, I have 20 or so books by this writer on the shelves. I enjoy his work.
Yeah.
I'm a fan of his work.
Yeah.
How I feel about the work now, okay, do you take it by a case-by-case basis, or do you remove all these books now and somehow try to not feel a way that you did previous to, because now it's tainted as a result of this news? That's my question.
No.
How can I lie to myself and having read something of his that I have enjoyed and now say, you know what, this is ruined for me, I don't like this anymore, which can happen.
Okay.
But then that's my question to you. Which approach would you take based on this piece of news?
First of all, I'd keep it. I'd read it again if that was the case. I mean, if I hadn't read it or something like that, if it was something I'd read, I wouldn't. You know what? Their art, and like I said, their art and their personal life is two different things, man. Just because they're fucked up, if they are, like I said, I'm not saying that he is, but I'm saying it goes a long way with everybody. It goes with artists. It goes a long way. People that are famous somehow, you know. I think it's just, you know what, you separate their work,
the art from the artist,
their work from who they are, man. Sometimes it's, you know, you always don't. The people that tell the best stories and tell the best music or whatever it is
are fucked up.
Usually,
a lot of these
usually have fucked up stories to tell,
right,
or can think of fucked up stories to tell.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I could probably think of a few fucked up stories to tell if I actually sat down and wanted to write it. It'd probably be one long run-on sentence.
And thanks for saying that. You're not wrong. A lot of the people that people have enjoyed throughout music, again, this is like more of the topic about art again. Remember how we talked about, we had that discussion a few episodes ago, where I asked you, is it wrong to not follow someone's wishes about how their art was reproduced or brought out into the world when they die? Right? I asked you that question.
That
and we had a pretty good discussion,
back,
right?
Yeah.
So in this sense now, I feel that I don't want to get rid of this guy's books.
No.
Right? I enjoyed them, and if I were to reread them, I think I would still enjoy them for what they were. But at the same time now, because I had actually brought this up in conversation when this news actually came out.
Okay.
It seems nowadays like people could call you very easily out on the fact that you're just using this separate the art from the person as a cop out of not being like just basically wiping your hands clean of this situation altogether and not trying to be a part of it as a result.
No.
Right? Because like I'm not the fucking one who supposedly did this to these women. Like, you know what I mean? Like I never support his work moving forward.
Yeah.
But I can't change the way I feel about his work previous, you know what I mean? Like, that's the way I feel. And yeah, go on, but then I'm going to bring up another example that might fucking make your whole way of thinking change again.
Well, but you got to think about it. They're not guilty of anything yet. And even if they were, they're guilty of something. Like, I still don't agree with that whole... You're already suggesting, by not reading your stuff and already thinking about it, you're already saying that has he been...
I don't know.
Charged yet? Has he been anything yet?
No, he hasn't been charged.
No, so there's nothing official. It's just a big hype in the news right now.
But for some people, as we just mentioned, that's all it takes. This has tainted all of their work as a result.
It's tainted you. It's worked on you.
No, I'm keeping the books.
Obviously, yeah. But I already stated that.
I already stated that.
Okay.
But I certainly do feel a way about it. It does make me think twice now, in light of everything.
Listen, Michael Jackson touched a bunch of little boys, okay?
Okay. Does his music change?
Does his music change? No. I still have his fucking album and his record.
Okay, I'm glad you brought that up. So now, okay?
Yeah,
so now, here's the next part of this that I wanted to bring to your attention. We talked about... Bill Cosby.
Yeah.
I was never a big fan of Bill Cosby. When this news came out, and he was somebody that was convicted. He was convicted of what he did, okay?
Yeah.
And what he did was really, really fucking bad.
Yeah.
You can't really compare the two, allegations and actually drugging women and fucking having sex with them, right?
Yeah.
Right?
Exactly.
So do you take it by a case-by-case basis, or do you take it, you know what I mean? Like, can you pick and choose like that? Because me, I was easily dismissive of that. I'm like, fuck that guy. I never liked that guy anyways.
Well, see, that's the thing. You don't like him.
But then you got Louis C.K. The shit came out.
I didn't even know. There you go. Go on.
Louis C.K. was a comedian who I love his comedy.
Yeah, I mean,
right?
it's not
I think
bad
he's
at
a very
all.
fucking funny guy. But as a result now, he apparently was, from a position of power, asking to jerk off in front of women and jerking off over the phone, talking to them and this kind of shit in the industry, okay? He basically got thrown out of the industry for a short bit there. Apparently he's doing stand-up again now, but, like, you know, he's getting fucking scrutinized everywhere he goes, okay?
At least he was asking.
Right. Okay? No.
That's one point. Go on.
Okay. Again, not to get into all of that, whether that was right or wrong.
Okay.
But if you're going to compare the two, one is way worse than the other. You understand? Like, in my opinion.
It's always your opinion.
Both wrong.
Yes.
Both wrong.
Exactly.
Okay? Because I get what he was doing was wrong.
Yeah.
But as wrong as maybe the Cosby thing, as wrong as a Weinstein thing, no.
But see, what gives you the right to judge that person? Right. Period. So if it's wrong or it's right, there's only two categories.
Yeah.
Wrong and right. So you can't pick and choose what you don't like. You get what I'm saying? You have to separate it all from the work.
Right.
You get it?
Yeah.
It makes sense, right? Like you can't.
No,
pick
but when this
choose.
came out, I was not
it
defensive
might fuck you up
of
in the
him,
head.
but I'm like, man, I don't want to stop liking Louis C.K.
Exactly,
like,
right?
But then the Cosby thing, fuck that guy. Look at it. I was just like,
There's so many things.
The Weinstein thing, I'm like, I don't give a shit about this guy. I think it's easier for you to dismiss someone you're not a fan of.
Here's where I kind of dismiss. I don't know. Here's where I don't.
You see what I'm saying? And that's
that
fucked
billionaire.
up.
What's his name? That one that hung himself in just recently. Oh fuck, man! I don't even remember his name. It's not even cool to. Who gives a fuck about his name? But
right.
That's the one that was.
Yeah, I don't give him any
underage.
Shine, yeah.
Right. Like.
Oh yes.
I have an issue with.
Anything with children, yeah.
Yeah,
it's
I do.
Up.
It is fucked up, but I don't think it would make me change. Like, doesn't have any art.
If it turned out that I found out he was sexually molesting kids, I probably would get rid of his books. See, there's the line.
Well,
for me, I think we just found it. I was like, I'd probably be like, yeah, because sometimes you go back and you look at the art or you hear the songs, like with the R. Kelly shit. If it's related. Yes,
yeah,
and that's what I like with the R. Kelly shit.
Yeah,
all the shit he was singing about. Now people go back, they're like, ew, what a scumbag.
But he's admitting to it, dude. This is the fucking problem.
Same thing with Louis C.K. though. Same with people have gone back and they've heard him make jokes about jerking off and this kind of thing, and they're like, oh my god, this was going on while he was making these jokes, right?
Dude, at least he was asking, man. That's actually even funny because he's a comedian asking for permission if he can jerk off.
It's not so easy is what I'm trying to say.
Well, they threw Pee Wee Herman out. Remember when Pee Wee Herman caught jerking off in the theater?
Now it's like it's forgiven now. People like Pee Wee Herman again. He's getting roles and stuff like that. It seems like people love him. He shows up to conventions. All he did was jerk off in a theater. Like, he's like
yeah, he was in it was dark, man. I think it was dirty films too.
That's back when people. No, it wasn't a dirty film. I think that was the problem. I think he went to the washroom and jerked it, or yeah. That was the problem, and it was because it was during his time as Pee Wee Herman, right? So that was back when people were jerking off in theaters, though. You're right, but I don't think that was the theater he was in.
There was a time when people were jerking off in theaters.
Yeah, in New York, there was fucking when they first started playing porn in the '80s and shit. You ever
I know that? We used to have one on Bloor Street where
the ones with the windows. This before Giuliani fucking went and cleaned up the city. You know, like the ones where they had the peep shows in New York?
Yeah.
You ever watched that show?
Pay to view, whatever.
The Deuce? You ever seen that show? That's a good show.
No, I've dropped a few of them, though.
Heyo! Anyways.
Yeah. Speaking of dropping a few, how'd you like those jokes from
try to steer away from that?
Yeah, because we got to get out of that one. People are going to get angry. No, I don't mind. Like I said, if anybody wants to have a Me Too sort of movement, I don't mind talking.
If you notice, I didn't take any stance there. I just fucking tried to explore it.
Like I said, it's getting. I think the whole thing is getting a little out of control.
Yeah,
it seems like everybody that has money is getting blamed for something.
But yeah, speaking out of control.
Yeah, and that's what I mean.
The new Dave Chappelle comedy special, Sticks and Stones.
Let's
on
start
Netflix.
Having a laugh, yeah, because that fucking thing was hilarious. I don't watch too much Dave Chappelle, but I mean, it was only an hour long, so I figured, what the fuck, let's try it out. I downloaded it, and honestly, it was 2 thumbs up, man. He was hilarious. The way he did it, the way he came out, he just didn't give a fuck, man. He was just pissed off at everybody and just, played it like a real comedian, which he should. And that's how I found out about the Louis C.K. thing.
Yes,
because he mentioned it in the fucking thing, right? He mentioned quite a few of these topics that you're saying.
All the social issues
that you were just talking about.
He just weaved in and out of that like a fucking
perfect.
Yeah. He doesn't. That's the thing. That's why he's so great. He doesn't steer away from any of this shit. He looks it right in the face.
Yeah.
Discusses it, breaks it down, and makes comedy out of it. And those are the best type of comedians, man, because you need to laugh in these crazy fucking times.
And they wonder where he disappeared to. He's got to come up with some of that comedy. He's got to come up. That's, if you notice, that stuff he probably sat there and read about him or read about certain things on the internet because he took off for a little while, right?
Well, yeah, but you don't. That's the thing. You don't, as you mentioned, you don't know too much about Dave Chappelle. Dave Chappelle's the type of guy that will just go on stage and riff at and just do these pop-up shows sometimes randomly. Mm-hmm. And sometimes you'll catch this guy, and this guy will straight up do like a 3-hour fucking show of material, just riffing on shit. Like he'll just show up somewhere. This is how he works his material, right? Like he'll just go there.
So he just wings it. Like
he's
basically
a great fucking storyteller, man. Like you
right
need to watch
of
more of his. You need to watch more. Like I mean, I saw him live. Me and Peter went to see him when he came back from Africa. Like when he left the Chappelle show. I know that sounds crazy saying it like that, but no.
No. Is that part of a Me Too movement? No. How do they consider that? Exactly. They just call that straight up racist. No. You said the right.
He did. He went to Africa. When he left the Chappelle show.
Who knows what I was thinking. Bro. But you'll never know because it was in my head.
He left here. Like he left his career behind and basically fucking went to like the motherland, bro. No, he I don't know how much you want to get into this, but he basically he left the Chappelle show because he felt the show had changed and it wasn't his anymore, and that the other people's input, the writers and the other probably he never singled out white writers, but there was a lot of white guys, and he was making fun of his own culture, and he was making fun of his own people all of a sudden, and it just got away from him. And he kind of became almost like a cartoon of himself. I think he felt like, what am I doing? Like during the 3rd season, there was a sketch in particular they said that made him go off the deep end, where he was basically dressed up as a like a black guy from the South, and he was doing like these like catfish fucking songs or something like that, and he was making his black people look really bad. He felt. And people were laughing at it. Yeah. And people at the time were like wanted him to stay on the show, but like after doing like 3 episodes of the new season that he got paid like $50 million for, okay? They gave him $50 million to do the 3rd season. That's how big the show was going to the 3rd season. This is after show. On Comedy fucking Central.
Little skits.
Right.
Wow. Yeah, go on. I didn't know how much it was.
So this is after, like, but you know about the famous skits like the Rick James
one. Yeah, I think we've all, I think everybody out there has seen it.
So after that season, based off of that one, like the Charlie Murphy stories, the Prince one, all these big skits that he did that everyone was fucking, like, me and...
R. Kelly?
Yeah. Going into the 3rd season, they offered him $50 million. But then after doing like 3 episodes, and they've brought it out on DVD. Like I own it. You can watch the 3 episodes that they actually worked on and never actually put out.
Okay.
He left because he just...
I remember something about that.
Yeah. He did a tour.
Yeah.
Talked about why he left. After that, he kind of went into obscurity for a little bit, and then he started popping up and working on his craft again, doing more stand-up. And then when he got the deal with Netflix...
That was a crazy deal, eh?
On his own terms, he came back, walked away from the $50 million how many years ago? I think he made like $60 million on the first deal with Netflix for like 2 specials.
Yeah,
see?
This one had to be a lot, right?
No, but look, his principles... He had principles. He walked away from all that. Everyone thought he was fucking crazy when he left. Because, he fucking left. He went off to Africa. Everyone's like, is he fucking nuts? Like, they just gave him $50 million. That was like, and then he just lost it, like, it seemed like. It just broke him. Like, all the fame, it wasn't for him.
The fortune, the fame, everything. Right. It's not for a lot of people. Right. And that brings up other guys. The same thing like we were talking about Joyner. It's the same thing. When you become really famous and you get a lot of money, it brings up a lot of issues, right? That you have to deal with,
right?
And that's where probably Dave Chappelle felt like where he was going. I bet you it's the same sort of, maybe not completely the same, but you have your own morals, you have your own way you live by, and when people start talking shit about you and the way they think about you, it bothers you. Right? Like, I mean, if you were Dave Chappelle and people started saying, well, your shit's not funny because you're making us look bad. Well, we're not. I'm not. I'm just saying we probably did look bad. He's probably the way he looked.
I think it just got away from him. Yeah. He took a good hard look at it, and he's like, and because a lot of his shit for the first 2 seasons was racial jokes about all races, though. Chinese, white people,
kind of like
black
what Thing
people.
does, right?
Like, he was just doing these these looks at society and the way people act of different races and how they interact with each other.
Yeah.
And in a way, he was bringing people together to laugh, and it was a good thing. But at the same time, he felt they went a little bit too far, and I can't blame him. Seeing that shit, if you watch the clip in the 3rd season that they said may have triggered him because after that he kind of left after that skit, I can't blame him because it was some straight up kind of racist shit. It was, and it was him that was making the jokes on it. Like he was making his own people, in his words, look bad.
Yeah.
So you can't blame the guy, but he went away based off that, came back on his own fucking terms, did it his way, and is making more money than he fucking walked away from now on these specials.
Of course. But they know he's gonna pull off.
Isn't that beautiful though? That's a beautiful thing right there, man.
When you can do what you want.
And you love to hear about those success stories. I wish that guy all the best because of like what he went through.
That's what I mean. And they do, and they work hard. They still have, they walk away from maybe big deals like that because of that reason, and they still gather themselves and hopefully come back and become who they are, right? Like, I mean, there's a lot of artists that do that, dude. If you really want to start naming off people that have walked away from money, have walked away from things, we talk about music, we could talk about movie. There's a lot of people that have actually walked away, right? But back to the point, that Dave Chappelle fucking season, or whatever you want to call it,
it's called Sticks and Stones,
yeah, Sticks and Stones, fucking amazing, dude. I don't know how much you really want to discuss a lot of the jokes in there, because
go for it. Yeah, if you can recall any of them.
With the way he was talking about,
he already got a lot of flack,
I can't use a lot of that because they have a lot of the N-word and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But
I'm not saying he should start doing his act. I'm just saying
but I mean, like, that's what he was talking about. He's talking about, he still made a couple
the transsexuals
of
attacked him again. Because he made lots more. He made jokes about transsexuals in his last special. He made jokes again in this fucking special about transsexuals.
He put that whole concept.
Yeah.
And he made me understand it a lot differently.
Yeah.
I understood. I knew that they had the LGB, the alphabet, whatever you want to call it. I'm sorry, guys, still out there. I just don't know what it all is. But I understand it. BTQ, right? He made it sound how they would work out in a car situation, in a carpooling situation. And if you guys, you have to, I can't. You got to watch it.
It's masterfully done. I give the way credit. He breaks it down. I don't know how that guy's mind thinks. Everything. Yeah, it's crazy though. Yeah,
he made the people laugh at themselves because he basically called them out.
Yeah.
And they were laughing at themselves.
He's like, I'm not really an impressionist, but I got 2 impressions, he's like. And the first one, I forgot, he does, I won't get into that one. No. It's a black guy during them signing the Declaration of Independence.
Yeah, hurry up.
And there's some racial jokes there. But then the second part, he's like, he basically does this stupid fucking voice, and the reaction from the crowd, everyone thought he was making fun of Trump right away, because he's like, I don't care what you did, but if you make one mistake, buddy, I'm gonna shut down your career. Then he's like, I'm just gonna kick you out of fucking show business and all this. You know who that is? You guys.
Probably pointing at the audience, man. That was awesome.
Because he was talking about the Louis C.K. thing and this kind of shit. Yeah, exactly. Like, for instance, like the Me Too.
Yeah, worried about what he's going to say and what people are going to think afterwards. And look what happened. Like you just said.
They got attacked.
He got attacked again.
He doesn't give a shit.
He doesn't. He says what did he say? He dealt with the
R. Kelly thing.
No. But that R. Kelly thing.
Yeah.
That's a whole other one. They asked him to be in the movie, right?
But he's like, I don't fucking know R. Kelly. That's why I didn't cooperate. The woman made a statement saying he was uncooperative when asked to be in this documentary. He's like, I don't fucking know R. Kelly. He's like, I made fun of him in the skit. He's like, I don't really know the guy.
Exactly.
Like you want me to go on there and lie, like so many of these people probably do? Like, oh, I heard he's fucking molesting, young women or something. You know what I mean? Like, which he totally is. He's a dirtbag.
Well, he explains that one too. He'll explain the whole R. Kelly situation to you.
but he said, I don't know the fucking guy. I'm not gonna fucking speak bad on him.
Why should I? Yeah, why should I? But Dave Chappelle turned it down.
Right?
Like he
says, she's selling the documentary based on
him turning it down. See, and that's just him saying no.
And he's my favorite comedian.
How does he not laugh at himself when people are?
He does. What do you mean? He cracks up all the time during his stand-up.
In the bit, first second,
yeah,
he started off with all the music when he did the Prince thing and he did the dude. When he started talking about naming all those people, that's when as soon as that started playing, I started laughing and that was it, right? But he put some good quotes up there from Kendrick Lamar and from
Jay-Z,
right? Which were really good quotes, right? And then he had his own, right? These are gonna be his, I guess. But
he's
it was
a smart
man.
dude, man. He's a smart fucking dude. This guy, he's a smart dude.
Very smart, very smart, very gifted. To be honest with you, if there's somebody to pull off a live stand-up in front, and you know the way he did it too, and it's funny. He goes, "You clicked on my face, right? By going on Netflix, you're subscribing to the terms anyway, so you're clicking to watch where he says. So that's your fault if you don't want to hear it, right?" Mm-hmm. So that's where he was having a blast with it. He was, you know what? For an hour, he made it seem like I was watching for almost 2 hours, which was unbelievable. And if somebody can do that,
packed a lot of social issues in that.
The guy's cell phone rang.
Yeah,
that was the best too. So, but man, he goes, the guy doesn't answer his cell phone. He gets the call that his grandma died or something. His mom died, and it was like, oh fuck,
So guys, check it out, Dave Chappelle.
Sticks and Stones.
If you're a sensitive person though to a lot of these issues. Maybe not, but to be honest with you, he examines everything in a really good way and brings a lot of things to light and does it in a comical fashion. So I think anybody can appreciate the things.
Oh, yeah.
Although, like I said, he already got slammed by... I don't know. He does seem a little obsessed with transsexuals, though. No, but that's the thing. He does seem a little... Like, he does continue to return to that subject in particular. He's done it in, 3 different specials on Netflix now.
I don't think he understands it. But I don't think
but that's the thing. I think he's trying to examine it more so, but in doing so, he's actually making fun of them, and they don't take that too late. Take that, very lightly.
Yeah.
Making fun
everybody
of them,
else has been pretty simple and clear. Yeah.
It's a whole community he's making fun of,
But
right?
basically, like you said, they all jumped aboard into the carpooling, right? But I don't understand how gay and queer are 2 different things.
We don't need to get into that right now because we shouldn't be speaking on that.
I don't understand. I'll have to ask somebody one day.
I can't speak on that because
one day when I get a call in,
I'm neither nor am I that educated in that, so I don't feel right talking.
But I've always wondered.
I know there's lots of things I'm not that educated on. I talk about on this show, guys. But
I was bringing the strap for you.
Yeah, no. Let's move on for that one. I'm gonna call that one. Okay, so you want to get quickly... Oh, the other thing, I guess another comic-related piece of news we didn't mention earlier.
Yeah, it was a Black Batman.
Yeah. It's a gimmick. It's a fucking gimmick,
Is it?
Right? And I hate to call it that.
I wanted to ask you about it. You brought it back up, but I wanted to ask you because I wasn't sure because I didn't know if there was a Black Batman, what the deal is, like they do in the Black Spider-Man.
There is there's
boy or whatever.
Miles Morales. Yeah, there's a Black Spider-Man. Here's the thing. When they're trying to push change like this in comics, introducing other people of color and stuff as superheroes, there's nothing wrong with that.
No.
But the problem I have is when they're taking already pre-established characters and just making them black. Like, listen, I love Miles Morales.
Yeah.
But that's not really a new thing. That's basically... I'm more into new heroes.
Spider-Man.
New heroes that are coming out that are different. You know what I mean? Like, this is just another Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Right? Batman's going to be black for a year or 2, but then it's going to go back to being Bruce Wayne. That's how comics are.
Especially with a movie, right?
They always wipe the slate clean and bring shit back to where it was originally. This is just another gimmick in the sense that, they're going to... And a lot of people... It's going to work. A lot of people are going to check it out just based off of this, right? Is it a good thing? Yes. But is it just another gimmick in comics? Absolutely. It is.
Well, the thing is, too, back when they started the comics, there wasn't too many black superheroes. That wasn't something that they wrote about, right?
Right.
I mean, it's just, unfortunately, it was a long time ago, back when, nobody was ever politically correct, and I think this is just a way for Disney to be able to turn Marvel and whatever they own into being politically correct, because they have to be, man. There's a company like that cannot afford to be sued in any way, and they gotta say that we turned their back around. Let's just relax here.
And that's the thing. There is already other black members of the Bat family. There's a guy named Batwing, who is another type of Batman. He's not Batman, but he works with Batman, and he's part of like the Bat family. There's another guy called Duke.
Yeah.
That was introduced like 2 or 3 years ago.
Yeah.
His name's like the Signal or something like that. And he's a black kid that works with Batman. Like, he has other people now that they've introduced. That and there's another guy now, Black Lightning. He had a show on TV.
Yeah, Cyborg.
Well. That's not part of Batman though.
Black
Lightning works with him. Yeah, there's lots of black superheroes now. But what I like to see is, and I bet you one of those characters, there's already theories going around that one of those characters is just going to don the cowl. Somebody's just going to take up the Batman costume. Like, it's not going to be a new Batman. Probably it's going to be somebody else who is going to become Batman. Like, he's going to wear the costume. Because years ago, Batman apparently died in the comics for a little bit. And Nightwing became Batman.
Okay, I didn't know where it went from.
Dick Grayson, Robin. Like, he took up the mantle. Which makes sense.
Yeah.
Because he's worked alongside him all those years. Of course he would be the next in line to be Batman.
Yeah.
Who knows what story they're going to tell where they make somebody else, a black person, Batman. And, listen, I'm there for it. I have nothing against it. I just don't...
But now you got to do the whole thing, though. You got to do the whole LGBTQ, you know what I mean?
What do you mean?
You got to throw everybody. Is there a gay superhero?
Yeah, there's a lot now.
Is there? Right?
The last few years, there was a big push for that.
Yeah, because they couldn't write about it back then.
And the thing with that is, that's great and all, but I think that everything they were putting out was not of good quality. It wasn't great ideas. It felt forced, and a lot of it was. And that's where my problems come in. And that's why I said it's a gimmick.
Yeah.
It's just a thing to sell more books.
Yeah.
I don't think their hearts are in the right place, because if they were, they would be introducing new black characters into the universe.
Exactly.
But guess what? New characters, to establish new characters nowadays, is very difficult.
Yeah, it wouldn't be easy, especially when you're trying to start up a new sort of comic or a
couple
of
years ago, they came out with a series called New Superman. Guess what he was? He was a Chinese Superman. Have you ever heard about this?
No.
Yeah, Chinese Superman.
No, I never heard about
Superman of China. I read the book. It was a pretty good book. I read some of it.
I don't doubt it. I mean, they're pretty good when it comes to that fancy sort of art and stuff. And I don't know about their storyline, but yeah.
But again, it was just them just putting a different
twist on it.
Yeah, a different person in the suit. It's same character.
Did the same things, came from the same place.
Well, it was a little bit different, but it's Superman still at the end of the day. It's not a new Chinese superhero. It's Superman. Chinese version. I just think that it's good to start new characters.
Yeah.
Not just rehash old ones and make them a woman or make their nationality. No, seriously.
It's true. I know. There's so much I could say, dude, and I have to watch myself.
And they've been doing a lot of that. And there's nothing wrong with it at the same time.
I understand.
But does it make for good stories? Not always. Sometimes it does. Sometimes it doesn't, because sometimes it feels forced. And then guess what? The comic book community is so fickle. They'll put out a fucking new book with a new character, a new Chinese character, a new black character, and then the book won't fucking sell.
Yeah.
And then they've turned around and they've already said it. Well, you guys asked for this. Then when we put it out, you don't buy it.
Yeah. What the fuck?
Yeah, exactly. So let's hedge our bets and just change the sex on Thor, make her a woman. And because she was Jane Foster was Thor, and now she's going to be the new Thor in the new movie, and it's an awesome character, and the story was great because it actually worked towards making it a good story and actually making sense as to why she became Thor.
I was going to say, how are they going to?
I'm not going to get into the whole story, but
how are they going to switch from a one guy Thor to the girl Thor? That's what I don't understand.
Because whoever holds the hammer is the worthy one.
Oh yeah.
And Jane Foster was always like a Thor character, so the way that she actually came across it and became the worthy one made a lot of sense. That story was great, but not all of them are like that. There's one in a few like
that turn out.
Yeah. So that, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And I'm just talking from a story standpoint. As a fan, I have no problems with them doing whatever the fuck they feel like doing, but at least service the characters in a proper way and give us good stories out of it. Not fucking bullshit.
Not bullshit
where
stuff.
you're just exactly.
Yeah, no, I get what you're saying. And you don't waste your time. Don't waste everybody's time on shit that nobody's gonna watch. Right. Nobody's gonna. Yeah, let them talk.
And they were doing so much of this at one point to appease the fans that were asking for it.
Yeah.
Like, half of it was not good. Like they were just. That's what I've been trying to say this whole time.
Yeah, I know. I get what you're saying. Like it doesn't turn out the right way it's supposed to because you've watched it for so many years one way.
Right.
How do you look at it a different way?
Hence why I'm calling this like a gimmick. There's been so many different Batmans over the years.
Bring up a different generation now.
Right. Anyways, I'll read it. I'll check it out, and I hope it's good.
Yeah.
But if it's not, it's not. I'm not just going to continue buying it just to say, hey, I'm buying a black Batman book.
I wonder if they're afraid that character itself is going to eventually die out. These guys are never going to die out. These comic book characters, the way they are, the big name guys.
And this is how they reinvigorate it. This is how they put in new ideas or push new gimmicks in it to keep it interesting.
Well, into people's head, like they switch a lot of things around.
So for a year or two, they'll be like, "Oh, Batman's over here now. He's not Bruce Wayne's not Batman anymore." No. Okay, let's make this guy Batman. Let's roll with this. See how this goes for a year or two. Yeah. When people are bored of that, bringing him back in now. Yeah. Guess what? Everyone missed him. Oh, Bruce is back. Then when he gets boring again, you know what? Maybe he'll die for a year or two. That's what I mean. This is how they work, right?
Yeah. It is a marketing gimmick.
So when you brought it up to me, I know I made it sound very dismissive, where I'm like, "Fuck this gimmick," but it's not a surprise to me. I've seen it all at this point in terms of like
when it comes to comics. Yeah, I'm pretty sure you have seen it all, just about, right? I mean, you guys know. Anybody that knows this weirdo, but yeah, no, it is. I never knew. That's why I wanted to know a little bit about how they come across doing that kind of stuff, just because it's interesting, and there's probably some of you guys out there that don't. That is like me. I mean, you do know your share, and that's why we also have Trade Talk on here, and they also do the weekly wine and comic time, right? So that's why. I mean, they wouldn't be talking about it if you didn't know anything about it.
Right.
And I like to, when it comes to that kind of stuff, I tend to always send you links or stuff to
because you want to
explain,
know.
And then we think, we think about talking about it on the cast, which is good.
Well, listen,
you give me a little brief history.
The piece of news that did come out, because we didn't explain the whole thing, is they announced that in 2020, part of a big event in 2020, moving into 2021, Batman, whoever's going to have the cowl, is going to be a black person. And now the theories are rolling around amongst fans. The cowl's the bat helmet. It's it's
the helmet. I thought it was the cape that's Superman with the cape.
Yes.
Okay.
The cowl is the actual, because it goes over it's got the ears, like it's a whole headpiece.
It's one piece.
It covers the shoulders. Seen it, it's a whole. Yeah, that's what I mean.
Then the rest of the suit comes on to here. Yeah. So he's really only vulnerable in the face. If you think about it,
he's got armor all over. Essentially, so
that's what they say. He's only a Batman. He's not super, guys.
Right.
But we can get into this discussion.
I don't have
a Batman. I don't have a Superman. I mean, I have Batman everywhere and no Superman. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, listen, like I said, there's been other Batmans. This is going to be another Batman. There's going to be more Batmans down the road. There's going to probably be a female Batman at one point.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So you know what I mean? Like it's
I mean, if I can name them all out, what types they're gonna be, but I don't want to because we're not gonna have to edit all this fucking podcast today.
Moving on.
Yeah, exactly. Touching up on these crazy subjects.
So Jay, you just dropped the news prior to recording today, and I'm very excited for you because I talked about it a little bit a couple episodes ago, so people already kind of have an idea of what I thought about the film. I'll kind of get into it a little bit with you, but I wanted you to talk about, because you just came to me today and said you've watched Midsommar prior to recording today. So
I had to watch it because honestly, Nico kept talking about it and said how he felt dirty and weird after the movie.
Okay, so
my verdict is you know what? It's nothing. It's just weird. It's not. I don't feel dirty. I understand there's a lot of fucking weird stuff going on there.
It's really fucked up.
But my problem was I didn't get to see the subtitles when they were speaking was it Swedish?
Yeah,
Swiss,
I think
from
it's Swedish.
Switzerland or Swedish, wherever it's from. I didn't get to see the subtitles, and the screen was too bright. It was just that was the problem. And now, like you said, the last one, that you said to me the other day about going to maybe see it in a theater because there was an extra hour put out, or
half hour. Yeah, there's a director's cut,
and I can see where I think I can see where they've kind of cut certain pieces and made them shorter, right? But yeah, I mean, it did. The storyline jumped around, but ultimately, I think from what I got, it was they were trying to get these two people into the. They were trying to just do their rituals and their cult, and they would invite these people over.
Yeah, it was like every 9 years or something like that, or was it 90 solstice, or something? Right? It was like
90 years. I think 90, it was 90.
90.
Yeah. And it's a midsummer solstice that they have. They call it, right?
Right.
And
it's a festival where they
dark.
do away with the oldest people in their society, and they let in newcomers.
Yeah, it's actually, I mean, really crazy when you think about it. When you watch the graphics of the movie, and I'm gonna actually sit back and watch it again. But from the most part, it doesn't even start off literally where from where it started off. It doesn't carry on that way. Remember I was asking you last time if it carried on from the beginning, and no,
totally
it went for a totally different direction.
The only thing that start had anything to do with the rest of the movie is the girl's mind state.
Well, they talked about what the guy would say. He asked about bringing in the new. You're perfect for this place because.
Did you get what he said though? How my parents died in a fire though.
Yeah, I know. Dude.
If you see the ending, then I think you can figure out how they died in a fire.
Yeah, exactly. They did do a lot of crazy stuff,
right?
Man. Yeah, they did.
Okay,
they did.
And not only that, bro.
Bro, you want to bring up the hammer part?
I don't want to spoil it for all of our guys.
There's a hammer part. That's all you need to know, man. You think Thor's a badass? Watch, check out this hammer.
I need other people to watch this and comment on it with us.
No, seriously, man. Because, like I said, if there's an extra half hour that they're putting out now.
So what I was told by my friend is that he read that most of the half hour, it somehow adds to how reprehensible the boyfriend is. Like, they make him seem worse in the half hour that was cut down. So, because what happens to him is pretty fucking horrible. And this is the thing. There's 2 points I wanted to make with you now that you've watched the movie that I discussed with other people, and I didn't really get much out of them when I brought them up. So, point number 1. That would be really fucking hard to be with somebody after something like that.
He wanted to break up with her before that happened, dude.
No, I know. But then he got put in the awkward position of, I can't break up with this girl now because of the horrible fucking shit that just happened to her family.
Yeah.
And being around somebody like that would be no picnic. It would be very difficult.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that he should have just stepped away at that point. Like, what's the right thing to do? Right? But but you want to be there for people in their time of need like that. But at the same time, some people, they can't do that. It ruins their whole life because their life now becomes this miserable fucking, you know what I mean? It's hard.
Oh, I know. It
does.
It takes a toll off. It takes a toll on people, yeah. But I think what he did was a smart move by bringing him with her. Because what's better than to forget about things but give you a bunch of fucking shroom tea. Right?
Right.
And that's the first thing you do when you get there. They wake up and it's still daytime.
Right.
But it's the next day.
Listen, he was a douche. Don't get me wrong. He was a bit of a douche. But did he deserve what happened to him? I wouldn't say so.
No, but I don't even think he was that much of a douche. And maybe towards the end it all happened. But that was all. Who knows how much of it was fucking planned.
To his friends he was. He tried to steal that guy's thesis, his buddy. Yeah. Remember he was there researching it and he just basically tried to fucking...
And he took it right out from underneath him.
Yeah, that was kind of scumbaggy.
His black friend there.
Yeah.
But they, remember everybody started disappearing. Where'd they go?
That was the most fucked up scene in the whole film for me. When the black guy gets hit, and then the dude comes up with the skin face of the other dude.
Who was making the noise? Was it the guy, black guy on the floor?
So that's what I was gonna ask too. I asked my friend. He's like, "That's not what's going on." I'm like, "Bro, was that guy having sex with his body after he hit the ground?" Because there were some disturbing fucking noises. I think it was the.
I think it was just a hit to the head.
Oh, you think it was that guy making the noise?
Or the other guy just groaning.
Yeah, there was
there was something wrong with him. He looked like something from incest.
He was inbred. He was. Yeah, he was inbred.
Yeah. Like the other dude.
Bro, but did you see that? They're looking at the book like it's scripture, like it's the Bible, and it's like messed up paintings that she was fucking just like. I was just like, bro, what's going on?
It was crazy. Then they're all moaning with
anybody
the girl
listening to this right now that has a see, they're like, what the fuck are these guys talking about?
We're having a blast. That's
the film.
It's hard to describe the film, man. You have to see it.
Okay, so the other thing I wanted to ask you was, so yeah, I don't think he deserved that. He was a bit of a dick, but I don't think any of them really deserve it.
No,
now,
I mean, yeah.
Do you think if the two friends didn't fuck up the way they did, if they would have still been taken out, do you think they would have still been killed? Because they both fucked up. The one went into the temple and stole the book. He was greedy, okay? Yeah. The other one pissed on their fucking sacred tree or whatever.
Yeah, and they both disappeared.
Right. Do you think that the fates for both of them would have remained the same if they didn't mess up in their society?
I don't know.
I don't necessarily think so. I think the way things unraveled...
Well, why did the other two in the end do that? Because what did they do wrong? What did the girl actually do wrong in the end?
See, but here's the thing. The girl... She was smiling at the end. She found some sort of weird peace at the end.
But they were tripping out on fucking
I know
TV.
that, but she
dancing for hours.
She basically led that guy to his death. It was her call, and she allowed it. The boyfriend. I know they were both tripping, but that's the fucked up part about the film.
She watched them having sex.
That's why it was so. That was fucked up too.
Exactly. See what I mean? The whole movie leads you into a big, more fucked up chain of events.
That's exactly what I told you last episode. Remember we talked about it? I said, I'm like, Jay, the way everything unfolds, it's one thing after another. And by the end of it, I was just like, this is too much for me. Like, that's how I felt.
It was a lot, man. There was a lot to take in, right? But it's like when you're talking to me. I mean, if you really sit there and talk to me, you got to take in a lot at once, right? It could be like 20 different things in one topic. Right. But yeah, no, it was a lot. I didn't have a hard time following it. Like I said to you, you didn't catch that one part in the beginning there where he said about the old people when they make room for two new ones, right? But they're, maybe they didn't. Who did they find this time? I think the two new ones were.
Because what had happened was the friend, the one that brought them all there and introduced them to all this, the other two people, the Indian people that were there, the guy mentioned at that thing at the end that they were people that he brought as sacrifices. The other guy, he never said that he brought these friends for sacrifices.
Yeah.
That's why I'm like, I don't think the same fates would have happened if they didn't fuck up those two. Because the one friend got chosen by his sister for that sex act in order to mate. Mm-hmm. He didn't push that agenda. It was his sister that chose him. Okay?
Yeah.
So, yes, it was unfortunate what happened to him. Obviously, they fucked him over. I don't think it was planned that way, though. Neither did I think it was planned that way for the friends, but they fucked up really badly, and they had to get rid of them. I don't think that his friends were all brought there as sacrifices. The only person I think he was motivated to bring into their society was the girlfriend. That was the only person.
Only wanted the sperm.
No, from the guy. But that's what I mean. They wouldn't have killed him if she didn't make that decision at the end, and he wasn't chosen to be in that fucking fire. That was the thing. There's people from their own town that were in the fire.
There was a lot more women too than there was men.
Yes, in the society.
So I'm wondering if that's another thing too.
Right.
Right. If they want the women, the kids, but they don't have the. They don't have enough
manpower.
Of the man. Well, and if it is the man, and if it is the manpower, it's probably their uncle or something from down the line. It's probably
which is probably why that inbred guy is there.
Well, that's why they forced him. They kept him in there when he was about to drop a load, right? They made sure he didn't get out.
Basically, guys, there's a forced sex act.
It's a fucking cult of some sort, man. It's awesome.
It's what witches are. Like, paganism is the early
style, right?
Of what witches would become.
And where they were, it was north. So that's why I'm saying Switzerland, because I think it was more. Was it Switzerland? One of the two. That's more north. So you get that solstice, right, where the fucking sun doesn't go down, like in Northwest Territories, somewhere along those lines,
like Alaska and stuff like that.
Yeah, right. Yeah. So
where it's day all the time for like a certain period of the year.
It goes a little bit lighter, but then it stays up.
But that's the even more messed up part about this film. They disguised it as a very nice looking film, but meanwhile all these horrible, horrible things are happening to our characters that we're watching, right?
But that's the good part about it. That's what's awesome about it.
But that's what I mean. It's a great film. Yeah. Don't get me wrong. I did you think so?
Yeah. I don't think it...
Did you like it better than Hereditary? I think I did personally.
I like both of them. I don't know. I can't say which one.
I like both of them too, but this one was just way fucking crazier.
I think I had a harder time understanding Hereditary until the end.
Right? Yes,
but this one I think I mean I don't know how much. I mean I figured basically how much we knew. I knew about like I understand about it. So
right.
Yeah. So this one here, Hereditary, I kind of took me a lot longer to figure out where it was going, and you know. What was happening and why they were doing all that shit. But yeah, they're both great movies. I think it's A24 or A24 films or something. It's a different productions or something.
Same like director though of both films.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Great director.
It's more like of a smaller company.
I was reading an article on him. He said they started filming this movie, like they actually flew out to that country, Sweden or wherever the fuck they said they were. They actually flew out to a destination out there and built that town that you see, the village. They built it.
Oh wow.
A day after it was in the theaters, Hereditary, he started filming this fucking film.
Oh, so he went on. He knew he was gonna get another chance to do something. But this is, I think that's what I mean. I think it's a small production company.
Yeah.
I don't think it's a big, huge writer wise. I think it's like what you say when it comes to comics, like you know, a little indie style. Yeah. But I don't think he's that indie. But speaking of films, I don't know. He's probably gonna have. Would this be one of those movies you see at the film festival and all that stuff?
I don't know. I'm sure it was. Joker was. They got an 8-minute standing ovation. Joker at one of the film festivals
this weekend.
No, not TIFF, but the Venice. There was another film festival that they just did, Venice or something like that.
Yeah.
Joker just played.
Yeah.
At the end, it got an 8-minute standing ovation, bro. And we're talking about a fucking movie based on a villain.
That's what I mean. I think TIFF, there's TIFF starting here.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, so you can watch it here. That's the one you can watch.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So you should be able to watch it if you were able to watch it the other one.
Yeah.
It's not out in the theaters yet, right?
No. And in 2 weeks, actually, I just seen an ad today for it for selling tickets. Mark Maron's coming here with a comedy festival.
Oh, looks like we might have to go.
Tickets aren't that much. We can talk after this if you really want to. Yeah. Anyways, what else did I want to mention quickly before we wrap up here? I watched the new season of Glow. It was pretty good. Speaking of Mark Maron, third season of Glow that was on Netflix. It just came on recently.
I've never had a chance, man.
It's a great show. One of these days, get into it because it's a great show. It's a great show. I mean, I know I'm going to be watching The Boys this weekend. There's always too much fucking shit to watch. I know we always talk about.
You should watch Doom Patrol.
Yeah, that. You want me to watch Snowfall? You want me to watch everything? Apparently, there's just too much, bro. There's too much. A couple of hip hop related news type things that came out recently. Update on Mac Miller's death. You know how
what did you say? I didn't even see that.
So you know how when people die, a lot of the times they don't discuss the reason behind their death. If they have to do all these tests and they have to investigate and do this kind of stuff.
Yeah,
it's been like a year since he died at this point. I feel like, or coming up on it, if not already past it. And they just said, well, they had already mentioned the fact when he died that it was a overdose from fentanyl, but now they've stated. Federal prosecutors have stated it's because of a fentanyl-laced pill that he took that he overdosed. A drug dealer supplied him counterfeit oxys that were laced with fentanyl. Okay, now he's being charged. Apparently, Mac asked him, and he's like a known drug dealer of his, I guess, asked him for perks, and he gave him these oxys that were laced with fentanyl.
Well, that's fucked because I mean, really, I would if you're asking for a perk, why would you want an oxy? Oxys blow your mind compared to a Percocet.
Right.
Like, Percocet's one thing,
yeah,
right? But I mean, and you can tell the difference between the two.
And the fucking guy, mixed it with fucking fentanyl.
I mean, he must have wanted. If he's seen the oxy, then he must have knew that that's what he was going to be taking too, right? Whether he knew it was, I mean, obviously he didn't know it was laced with fentanyl. I mean. That's another thing they were making. There was marijuana found too, and I can't remember where they were talking about. It was here in the city or somewhere. Somebody died of a. Oh no, it was a friend of mine, somebody I know actually. That family member or something like that. OD'd and they got marijuana laced with fentanyl, right? Which is crazy. They're just trying to throw it on everything. All they're doing is trying to make. is trying to make it feel stronger to you, but yet they don't know they're killing you at the same time because you cannot take any of that stuff.
Well, now they should know. There's been too many. There's been too many related cases.
But when it comes to money, people don't care, dude.
No, I know.
Especially guys that are selling drugs on the ground.
Yeah, no, you're right.
Selling drugs on the streets. Sorry.
So that was sad. I mean, we already knew he died from fentanyl, but the fact that he got it from like maybe a drug dealer that he knew and that he thought it was one thing and it turned out to be something completely different. So it wasn't because a lot of people, because of the way he was depressed prior to his death, had thought he may have did that on purpose.
Yeah.
But now it sounds like he overdosed by accident. So that kind of sucks if that is the case. Who knows, right? You don't know his mind state going into it.
Exactly.
This guy could have probably fed him the pill, and he may have knew that was the case, and now he's being charged with it as a result, right?
Yeah, and you're never going to get the answer anyways from the guy, right?
So
this guy's getting charged with it?
Yes.
They found out who it was?
Oh, yeah. They know who the dealer was and everything. This is why they're releasing this information now, because federal prosecutors have made the charges now against him, and he's going to court, I guess, as in supplying deadly drugs. Yeah.
That's why they should just make it all legal.
Yeah. Yeah, that's it.
No,
and then the other big piece of hip-hop related news that just happened earlier this afternoon prior to recording, Nicki Minaj, I guess, sent out a tweet saying that she's deciding to retire from rap. And and I quote, she said, "I've decided to retire and have my family. I know you guys are happy now." Basically feeding into the fact that she has so many haters now.
Yeah.
This is just a continuation about some of the subjects she just brought on the Joe Budden podcast a couple of weeks ago that they had talked about even, right? Yeah. She said, "To my fans, keep repping me. Do it till the death of me in the box because ain't nobody checking me. Love your life." So what do you think of this? Do you think that she's just trolling people now in light of all the fucking bashing that she receives like on a daily basis, according to her and according to a lot of rap fans? And or do you feel that this is legitimate because like someone with her money could absolutely walk away at this point and still enjoy a good life, and she can do other things, right? She can do appearances. She can do. I mean,
as long as she's smart with her money, right?
Right.
Yeah. Otherwise, you blow your. You still start living that lavish lifestyle now. I mean, you got to be. Every time that song comes on the radio, you got to be making sure you get your money for it and this and that. But I mean,
but I'm just saying, in
how much money does she really have?
Right. Listen.
She's not a Jay-Z or anything.
In theory, that I could see this happening for somebody saying, "Hey, listen, I would like to start a family, focus on the rest of my life. I got money, I'm good." That's why she even said, "Love your life" at the end. But do I think she's trolling with this? Probably a little bit. I don't take this for real, to be honest. I don't think this is for real. No. She may be considering it, maybe playing with the idea. I don't think she's
getting older too, eh?
That's true.
That's another thing, eh?
And sex appeal was one of her big.
Yeah, so I mean, if she loses that,
if she wants to,
if she has a kid and she loses that, I'm not saying women look different when they look ugly when they're pregnant.
No,
but you know what I mean. Like sometimes they get worried about losing the weight and losing the stuff afterwards.
It's a lot of work.
Yeah,
it's a lot of work.
It's not easy.
Yeah,
not everybody could just drop.
A lot of women have, though. A lot of women have, like popular entertainers have put on and dropped the weight, but it's a lot of work. Exactly.
They gotta put
I'm just saying she can also do the same thing if she was motivated enough to do it, or she wanted to, but she doesn't sound like she does, at least from this tweet.
From that, yeah.
But we got no indication. I mean, she seemed fed up in recent times with all the hate.
Yeah.
Even even in that interview, the Joe Budden podcast one that she did, she was bitching about a lot of, not, complaining about a lot of these things. And rightly so. She does receive a lot of hate. I can understand that. It would be hard.
They all do, I think.
But do you think,
way.
do you care either way, though, if she retires at this point? Do you care either way?
No.
Really. You're not a big fan.
No. I mean, she's good at when I like hearing her on features and stuff like that, but I won't listen to the whole album. Don't get me wrong. It's always good. You can still make a feature here and there, even if you're retired. You come back as a guest.
I like Nicki Minaj. I've known to have liked a lot of her music. Like you said, a lot of features, a lot of her earlier stuff I really enjoyed.
Earlier stuff was different.
She went a little popish towards now in her career. Yeah. Rightly so, though. There's a market there, so I understand. If she can play both lanes, rap and then do the pop songs, do a Katy Perry collab and all this kind of thing, more power to her.
Yeah.
Am I going to be there for that?
Not everybody can do it.
No, you're right. You're right.
Especially,
even rappers. Some of them can't do it, right?
No, and that's...
the hardcore ones, gangster ones, they can't do it.
No.
But you get somebody like Snoop Dogg.
Yet they're good. right? Yeah, some of them are really good, and they just can't make it in a mainstream market because they don't have that many people listening to them, right? Unfortunately, it's just the way it is. Unless, like, thinks, I don't like to agree, but he is, because he's a white rapper. He was everywhere.
Oh, Eminem, yeah.
Yeah, right? It was easier in a white market, right?
So you think she's truthful with this statement?
You know what? Maybe her biological clock is ticking, dude, and she's just thinking a little bit. Some girls overdo that at a certain age.
Yeah.
That's what I've
been
told.
She is with somebody now. Yeah. So she's settled down. So that might be the case.
Together, yeah.
Right.
Maybe they want together to have a kid. Maybe that's just.
I'm just saying, how many rappers have we heard this from? I'm going to retire, and then they don't actually retire.
No, it's the way of marketing themselves. Have a kid, and
that's what I mean.
Then you put their kid.
That's what I mean. She's either trolling, I think, against the haters by saying this. Even the fact she said, "I know you guys are happy now." Like, you know what I mean? Like, I was like, "What the fuck?" Like. You know what I mean? Like, just directly speaking to people. To somebody, I'm going to go be happy. Yeah. Fuck you guys. Yeah, exactly. So, I don't know. It seems like bullshit.
I wonder if that podcast really did fuck her up. And people started believing everything she started acting like that afterwards, right?
She made there was a lot of fucking bitching going on in that podcast, but she made a lot of strong points.
Oh, she's not that. She did make some good points, but I mean, that's
amongst
all she
could
do. Well, all she did was her. It was just all her talking. Afterwards,
very loud mouth.
Yeah, it was a little
New Yorker,
right? But yeah, no, that's kind of weird, man. I don't know if she's gonna do it. I think she's got it in her head that she wants that family. You know what I mean? You do. Right. Everybody does that. Don't get me wrong. And this is coming from somebody that's going to be fucking, 38 this year? You know, you think about it, and then you think about, fuck. You know, I don't have to take care of anybody but myself. Mm-hmm. Right? I don't even have to worry about a cat or a rabbit. You know? This guy over here. But, yeah, no. And the more I think about it now, do I really want to is the thing. Or do I just want to have somebody there with me sometimes? You know, like, I don't know. It's a weird thing. Like, can you do at a certain age get to that point? And she's got to be close to our age, right? I mean, if you were with your girlfriend, what would you do? You know, exactly, right? You would think. I mean, you guys don't really have anybody to worry about but yourselves.
I mean, I don't think she's going to stop being active if she actually retires. If she's retiring from being a rapper, that's fine. I don't think she's just going to dip out of the limelight for good. That's for sure, No, there's still lots of money to be made. She has a team behind her. There's no fucking way she's stopping that machine. That's what I'm saying.
If they have a kid or something like that, then it's a marketing thing.
Right.
That's it. You name it Blue Ivy.
But that's the thing.
And you become a billionaire.
If you think about it, though, with all she can't really... She's already lost the interest from the people that are Cardi B fans.
Yeah.
But
you were going to lose that anyways, right. I think, right?
But that's what I mean. There's been a divide ever since Cardi B came in between the Nicki Minaj fans and the Cardi B fans now, it seems like, which is half the reason why she got a little pissed when all that shit started happening.
Yeah.
Right? But now, because of that, and because of the fact that she has a relationship with a rapper, because of the fact that Cardi B has a kid, she might be also trying to fucking move in that direction now as well.
That's what I mean.
It could just be that's what I mean. It could all be an image thing. It could be her next fucking move, right? Yeah. So
maybe that's what their career moves are, like how they do it. Maybe that's the way it works.
I would like to think that this statement is.
Think about Beyonce at that age. She got that. She's when she started having kids. Probably just around that age. If not, are they the same age? They have to be a little bit. She's maybe a little older, right?
Beyonce's older.
Yeah, so she's just more our age. So yeah, so a little bit. You know what? That's what I mean. Like, look.
But here we are talking shit about her on a platform, just like she complained about Joe Budden doing on his show. Mind you, he's got a huge audience. We do not.
Yeah.
But she said, once you put it out in the world, who are we to criticize and not believe her with her making this statement? She tried to make a point of saying, I don't lie. I don't lie about
That's
things.
What I'm saying.
Prove us wrong. Let's see.
But let's
I
see.
just don't. I just can't see.
I dare you. I dare you, Nikki. Get knocked up.
I'll give her the benefit of the doubt for now, but I just didn't believe this when I read it, to be honest.
Nah, it's hard to believe. I mean, you don't know what to believe with all that trolling out there and everything that's going on and all that crap that's on the internet now. I mean, I think maybe 50 started it all.
Then again, think about it, Jay. What is the length? What is the length of a career for a female rapper, though? Not long.
Yeah, no, it can't be.
Think about it.
But that's what I mean. Here we go. Yeah, and like me, they don't age gracefully.
Well, no, I think you can argue that point, though,
Yeah.
when sex appeal has a lot to do with your identity, like Little Kim back in the day.
Yeah.
Right?
She turned into a dude. She looked like a dude afterwards.
She looked rough after a certain period of time. After Biggie died, forget it, right?
Yeah, it just happens.
That was her whole image, was the sex appeal.
Yeah.
Right?
That's what I mean.
So
if you can't keep up with it, that's like and then all these people nowadays like to put that crap in them. All these girls, they like to put all that collagen and crap in it. Not everybody can be a Kardashian, right?
Right.
Obviously, because nobody's got that kind of fucking money. But yeah.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say no one's got that fucking kind of ass.
Well, that too. I mean, but like they don't seem to age. That's the fucking thing. I mean, they've looked the same.
It's plastic surgery, right?
Yeah,
Good plastic
they're
surgeons.
able to. Yeah, exactly.
They got the plastic surgeon game on lock.
Yeah, but some of these other people, you know what? You're like, if a plastic surgeon can do this, if they can pull this one off on this person, then yeah, they're going back into acting or music. But some of them you just can't touch after a while. They become talk show hosts and that kind of stuff, or they gotta be on a podcast.
So with that being said,
I'm made for TV and I'm made for YouTube.
Jay, is there anything else you wanted to leave us with? Anything you wanted to bring up?
Dude, I can't believe I sat here. Do you not notice, guys, that my chair is turning and turning? It's because we sat here for an hour and 40 minutes right now.
Yeah, we did a great job.
I think my back is soaked, right? Just because it's wet.
This was a good episode. We fucking touched on a lot of things in this episode.
Usually we end up taking
topics.
a weird break or whatever, but we decided to leave it a little easier for Nico to edit when it comes to the video and the overlapping. It's actually good this way.
We just had a good flow going, so I kind of kept it going. We could have taken a break, but I thought this went well.
Yeah, I don't think it was worth taking a break.
Look, my list is all scratched out. I hit on every fucking topic that we had between the two of us. Is there anything else you wanted to add before we wrap up? Or?
No, the only thing you know what? It's not even. We'll talk about it in another episode, but remind me to touch up on that. How easy it was for those guys to buy the gun in the city.
Oh fuck yeah, that's a bigger topic for sure.
We'll have to talk about that. We'll keep you updated with that because this is fucking ridiculous.
Yeah, but gun violence is getting bad here in the city as well.
Yeah, we're gonna become U.S. You might as well just call us. I'm getting mad because it seems like it. So, but we'll have to figure that out.
I bet you some people are starting to get ideas. Absolutely, right? But
obviously, man, they were showing.
I would like to think we're better than that, though. But
guy tried to sneak a gun through customs. We were in like a bunch of plastic rolled up, and it was like a bag in the middle, and he tried to sneak a gun through it. It's the weirdest things you can. They were showing about all this shit. They found that.
Well,
people are stupid.
Absolutely. All right, getting into our last segment of the show here with our way back playback. As I see our podcast listeners out, you YouTubers will have to wrap up at this point after I press play, just because we can't put this music
you don't get to hear the music. I do,
but I will tell you what we're playing, and it's a song called Kool-Aid and Frozen Pizza. Speaking of Mac Miller earlier. I wanted to play this song because this is off his first mixtape he ever came out with. I think he was fucking like 14 or something. Look at the cover of this. I think he was like.
Well, it's called Kool-Aid.
No, it's called the mixtape is called Kids.
Yeah.
Kicking incredibly dope shit was the acronym for kids, right? But it's kind of like Kids, Kids the movie. Yeah, he was a kid at the time. Yeah. I think he was like fucking.
That movie's fucked up.
Yeah, it is actually. You know what? No, I'm not gonna play. See, this is the problem. This mixtape that he came out with was so good. There's so many great songs on here. And speaking of Mac Miller, I wanted to play his first project and how I kind of came across him. So I'm going to play I'm Just a Kid, which is one of my favorite fucking Mac Miller songs. That other one's great too, Kool-Aid and Frozen Pizza. The whole mixtape, guys, if you've never heard any of Mac Miller's old stuff, it's called Kids. The mixtape, if you can find it even nowadays online, look it up. I don't know if it's... Yeah.
How do you get all this stuff? Like, you got a lot of music on there. Did you have to pay for all those songs, dude?
Listen, once upon a time, it was easier to get music back in the day. Now they've made it much harder.
Have they?
Yeah,
you can't
absolutely.
Just plug something in and put it on there. Hey, fuck.
Yeah, this is like years old files here. So I had to transfer from computer to computer.
I'm surprised. Yeah, it still lets you. Well, because I guess it's still on your system.
Yeah,
I get you.
Here we go. I'm Just a Kid, and by Mac Miller. Our way back playback for the day. Check this shit out. See you guys next time.
Peace.